What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of the After You cast. So, following on from the last episode, which was a really good one with Ellie and Sona, just sitting down and talking about the industry and, you know, different pathways and how you can kind of get into it. But today we're going to kind of stay a little bit on trend, but talk a little bit differently of ways that you can kind of do it. So, without further ado, please introduce yourself to the people, my guy.
Hi, my name's Yaw Sarfo. I'm an actor, writer, producer and director.
Packaged nicely.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to call myself an artist.
Artist is good. Artist is good. That packages all of them, innit?
I do quite a few different things and quite creative. So
nice.
I always try to venture out to new things, and I would say I'm still starting out in writing, even though I've written quite a bit in the last year or so. So
nice.
But yeah,
brother, man, it's a blessing to have you on, man. I appreciate you. And
thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate that, man.
Much love and respect,
brother.
blessings. So, for those of you who are watching at home, big shout out to Carlington, because you know, I always say 6 degrees of separation. You know what I mean? Like, you'd be surprised who knows who in your circle and who's watching. So that's why I always try and keep good connections with the people that I've done business with, or we've collaborated on projects, or even if we just go back in the day when we know each other, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shout out to Carlington.
Shout out to Carlington, man. Big up Carlington. He's creative himself, so
another artist.
Yeah, man.
Another artist. Yeah. You know, I have this conversation sometimes with people about like creativity versus art, which is like that. You know, creativity is kind of like the things that we have access to, and we find unique ways to use them. Whereas like art, I think, is more like the actual invention. You know what I mean? The nucleus, that first like original idea. Maybe not necessarily original, because we know a lot of things necessarily aren't original.
It starts in the mind, doesn't it?
Exactly.
So,
you know what I mean?
Art can be portrayed in many different ways.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's
why it's kind of hard to confine art. That's why I think a lot of people who are artists, they don't like to be confined or put into one box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They like to kind of just say that they're an artist.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? My mind's constantly going, and I've always got different ideas. So I can paint, I can draw. I was always into that as a youngster. But then I was into drama, I was into English literature, I was into, do you know what I mean, theatre, and so
they kind of they blend together in a way, innit?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, I DJ. I mean, I used to make music when I was younger as well. Nice. So that's all art.
It's all art.
It's hard to say, I'm a DJ, I'm a writer, I'm a this, I'm a that. I'll just say I'm an artist. Yeah. Creative artist.
No, I like that. I think that
there's no limitations, is there?
No, there shouldn't be. I think when you're, I think you should pay enough attention to each one. Like you should put enough time and effort into the craft itself. But I definitely think that, there's room for, exploring and then expanding into doing multiple things.
You don't get put in a box. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. Multiple skills means that, you're going to be more versatile, be able to deal with adversity throughout your journey too, because as we can see with this current market that we're living in, cost of living crisis, and like the madness going on social media, you think to yourself, wow, young people really have to arm themselves with a lot more skills.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
You've got to have more than one hustle at the end of the day, like especially in this day and age. Whether it be just working wise, you need to have more than one job. It seems like nowadays to survive. So but just want to try and encourage the youngsters to just get some skills. And like you say, armour yourself with many skills, so you have many options to fall back on. So
I like
that's the main thing. Try and push these youngsters and let them recognise that they can do anything they want to do. Some people feel like I can't do that. They haven't got the confidence. A lot of it's confidence.
A lot of it's confidence. Very true. And I think that's being stripped away a little bit with the outward looking, outward projecting, looking at like what's out there, what do I have to do, who do I need to match up to, as opposed to more of that like, okay, where am I at? What stage am I at on my journey, and what am I working towards? You know what I mean? So brother, I mean, before we get all jumping into some of the interesting talking points, one thing I do want to kind of get from you, which I think is important for everyone, is kind of just get a little bit of a general backstory of kind of like your upbringing. You obviously mentioned that you're from Ghana. Shout out to my Ghanaians out there. But yeah, man, tell us a little bit about like your just your early upbringings and how you got into doing what you do, man.
What in terms of creative?
The creative way. Because I know you said you was an actor. You worked in.
It all started when I was younger. Like I said, I was at school studying art, and I decided to choose that because I wanted to be different. I mean, I played a lot of football.
Okay.
I went to grammar school and.
Shout out to the grammar schools.
Yeah, big up all the people that went to
shout out to all
grammar.
My boffins.
Do you know what it is? I ended up there because, like we were discussing before, I ended up in Ghana when I was younger. My mum took me there on holiday. It turned out to be an extended holiday.
Got sent back to the motherland.
I was there for a bit, for about a year or so. I went to school there, and just seeing the levels, the difference in like people. Like it was back in the day, so people are out there just really grinding to survive. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like you're seeing people walk into the well to get water, and just little things like that. So like you see the drive from early. I saw the drive from early. And then educational wise, they're a next level. So when I was studying there, they're really strict. The cane's still used, and things like that. So that was that was a bit of a shock to the system. But in general, just seeing like how clever the kids are, and I had to match up to that for that period. So I did all right, but it seemed to be a couple of years ahead. So when I came back, I was a couple of years ahead, and I ended up getting into grammar school.
Nice. So it kind of helped like speed up your process. It's like you got that outside of like, we really need this. This is why we're excelling, and then you kind of come back and let's be honest, like over here, it's a little bit more. It's a bit more built up. The society's built up a bit more. The economy in terms of just like what we see around us. But there's less of that drive in general because it's not based off survival.
Less drive and less hunger because people have got it handed to them. So I mean, ended up in the grammar school. I was playing a lot of football, and people at the time you had to choose between art and football to study. And PE.
Okay,
for GCSEs, you had to choose certain subjects.
You had certain ones blocked off, certain ones out. And
I thought, I was like football team captain, and I was playing loads, like a whole load of sport, and I just thought, let me do something different, like because I can do art as well. Do you know what I mean? So I did the art.
Was that something that you just kind of came up with yourself just to do the art, or was it something that you just thought?
I enjoyed art anyway. I always enjoyed art. I was good at drawing portraits and man.
So you had that kind of inside already.
I already knew that I was really good at art, and I just thought everyone's expecting me to do PE. Let me just do something different. You know what I mean? And I enjoy this more anyway. I play enough football anyway, so I did the art. Smashed it at GCSEs.
Nice.
I also enjoyed English literature, English language.
The languages.
Writing poems and stories from early. But the football stuff kind of clouded everything. I just wanted to be a footballer, even though I hadn't even been picked up by a pro club, and I was still like,
it's intoxicating.
Because I love football. So ended up into football academy locally, and pressure from my mum. I had to still study my A levels. Do you know what I mean? If I'm going to do this football thing,
them African parents.
So I carried on, and I just chose the subjects that I was interested in.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
that was at the time was English literature, art, and theatre. Well, drama. But the only thing I could study for A level was theatre studies, which is the base, the core. Anyway, so the best actors come from theatre.
1000%.
You know what I mean? Because when you
100%, I agree, man.
when you're on stage, you got to get it right. Do you know what I mean? In front of people.
Facts.
So I went to a lot of. We studied Stanislavski and his methods, and it was a good experience, like learning all that. But still, the football was cloud and everything.
Of course. It's always at the back of the mind.
I was still trying. I was playing non-league in the conference and played for the youth teams and reserves and various clubs. But then I left home early, so then I had to work. I had to pay bills and
life hits you.
Life hits you big time, and then you get injuries and all sorts. You start realising I ain't gonna make it. I'm not good enough. Reality hits in. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, am I gonna keep going through non-league, or am I gonna do other things to try and make money? And then I was into DJing.
Okay.
So there was a big house and garage scene going on. So.
Perfect time to get into
I was just started swift moving from the football into the DJ. I'm going to be a DJ. But I did that for a few years and worked, and it's only till later on, like literally the last few years, I thought to myself, I can't play football no more. My knees are gone. Do you know what I mean? And it's like chasing money all the time. Is life all about hustling, flipping and making money, and it comes and goes, and it still doesn't make you happy. I'm seeing people making money and they're still not happy. They're stressed all the time. What do I actually enjoy when I was younger? Alright, cool, not football. I liked art. Am I going to be a top artist now? And possibly. And then I thought drama, films, writing stories. Do you know what I mean? Telling stories. I'd been through so much throughout my life.
You've got enough life experience.
So much life experience from all different angles. I went to a grammar school, so I was around posh people. I knew people from the hood. Then I knew people, as I got older, I knew people in the underworld. Then I know people from all sorts of different backgrounds and so many different stories. And like I said, I lived in Ghana for a bit as well. I just thought to myself, I need to start telling some stories, man, and really showing it and portraying it. Let me try and get into this acting first.
So, like, sorry to cut you, bro. I mean, like, with the acting, was that, again, it seems like these are quite natural evolutions, you know, because I always say, like, with art, it's usually a natural evolution of something you've either done previously and you've acquired the skills, but you don't really know that's what it attributes to in the artistic world. So, like, with, like, transitioning into, like, the drama and the theatre, if you will, what was that like in terms of, like, because that's a big shift. You could say DJing, nightlife, out and about, suddenly to, like, being on stage with, like, you know, thespians and people who truly perform on stage. Like, what was that like?
Do you know what it is? It's like, it's all the confidence things. Like, I knew I could do it, but it's just having that from your peers, having people saying, you can do it. Do you know what I mean? That gives you that boost. So unless you make that first step, you're never going to know. And I didn't make that first step for a good few years. I was just doing other things, and then I got to an age where I just thought, you know what, I don't care anyway what other people think. I'm just going to go for it, and if I think it looks good, then let's go with it. So I literally just went out there and started looking to get involved in the whole industry. And the first thing I could think of getting involved, how to get in there, was by being an extra.
Nice.
NSA.
It's a great way to get onto, like, sets.
Just get onto sets, really.
Meeting people.
Meet people and see how it actually works from behind the camera. So I applied for a few things. I made a profile, And there's quite a few websites. If anyone ever wants to get into it, there's quite a few websites out there for extras and essay work.
Okay.
So just register, put a profile up. Main thing was to get a headshot, a nice headshot of what you actually look like.
Yeah. Clean, professional.
Yeah. So you maybe have to invest if you've got a good friend that can take photos.
Hit me up.
Then headshots. They're very important. You've got to sell yourself in this industry. So
well, see, that's the thing as well. I was kind of getting to is the aspect of like the unique thing about acting and theatre in general is that you are selling yourself while selling yourself. You know what I mean? It's like you already had to sell yourself to get in and to prove you should deserve to get these roles, to land these positions, but then at the same time you're selling yourself out there.
You're putting yourself out there.
So, you know what I mean? So
you got to have a little bit of confidence, but although I do come across confident, it's sometimes it's just a front. You know what I mean? Because I get nervous like anybody else, and this was something new. So like when I first got my first role, it was in a music video, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, for a well-known artist. I'm not going to plug any names or anything.
That's fair.
It's a well-known UK hip-hop artist, and it was just like, just being on that set. I had to act in a courtroom, but just being on that, just watching it, just seeing how it was all working, I thought, okay, I've started to get the feel of it, and I did a lot more extra work on different sets, and then I did an extra work for an independent short filmmaker.
Okay.
Big up VSOP. I'll big him up. He's doing his thing out there. He gave me my first opportunity, and it was just literally just walk on, count some money. Simple.
Just a little small bit.
I thought it was basic, like but he liked it, and I was like, okay. So I said, just give me a shout if you've got any other roles. And I just kept it moving, but he gave me a shout and he said, I've got something for you. So lockdown happened. This is all throughout lockdown as well. We were allowed to perform. I think performers were allowed to continue working, so we just carried on filming, and I ended up doing a lot of work with him and getting some roles with speaking roles.
Oh, okay. It's a natural evolution, isn't it? Because you start there with the extras behind the scenes, and you meet some people.
Meet some people, just connect with people
slowly but surely.
And then it was improv. So it was the first time I was doing improv. I was asking him for a script, and he was looking at me like, "No, improv." I was like,
tell the audience what that's like in general, because it's like there's a big difference. I've seen behind the scenes, obviously, like what it's like, but just for reference, like the difference between improv and like maybe something scripted.
Improv is improvisation. So you, instead of reading from a script, you literally have to use your own creativity to actually bring this scene alive.
So it's almost like off the cuff.
It's off the cuff, on the spot. He'll tell you slightly what the story is about, and what's happening in the scene, but you're not given any dialogue. You're free to make up your own dialogue, but it's on the spot. So that gave me like a hard what's the word, learning curve into the games. Just straight away, bang,
of fire.
Improvisation on the spot, cameras in your face. So I did my thing, and it came out all right, and he liked it. But the best thing for me is like people that I knew, like friends and peers and family members, that actually was like, I didn't know you could act. That was good, man. That was that those little words there just give me that extra rocket in my back, and I was like, okay, I am alright then. So
it's important. I think it's important for your peers and people that you've grown up with.
Those little words of encouragement help, man. Definitely.
Facts. It keeps you. I wouldn't say it necessarily is the motivating factor.
No.
But I definitely think it's just while you're on the path, you're always going to have question marks.
Of course, you're always questioning yourself all the time.
Because it's human nature, I think, because whenever you find elements of success in things, natural doubt comes in, because it's the balance. You know what I mean? Like, if you succeeded, you're going to think, okay, well, what if? And all these things. But I think when you learn as you get older to kind of get rid of that, and you build confidence in, like, no, actually, I am really good at this. And like, I feel confident enough to say it. you know, you step into a different kind of lane. You know what I mean, and people see that. So
that gave me that extra boost. And I just went harder, just looking for more work, short films, lots of independent work, and I got lucky, and I met a guy just randomly through a football group on WhatsApp.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a Liverpool supporter. Okay. We got Liverpool supporters out there. You know what I mean? You never walk alone. But who just sport?
I'm a Gooner, bro.
Oh, you're good?
Yeah, bro.
You lot are nice now, but you've been upset for the last few years, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're coming back, man. We're making a comeback. We're trying to take it.
You're doing alright. You're doing your thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But I met him on I met this guy on WhatsApp. He was posting about any actors in there. There's so many people in the group. I didn't know hardly any of them.
Yeah, it's one of them ones.
So I kept quiet. Yeah. And then he started posting a few pictures, and I was like, okay, he's proper. So he asked again. I think it was a month or two later, and I messaged him. I said, yeah, I can act. So big up Adrian Scott. He's a top writer out there. He's been writing for a good few years now.
Okay.
And he gave me an opportunity to go for this role through a producer. I did a Zoom casting through lockdown.
That must have been different.
Yeah,
That's a different experience, isn't it? Because
a lot of the castings, to be fair, around that time, and a lot of them nowadays they're all on.
They kept it that way since.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense.
So, but it was. I got sent the script, and I had to just learn a passage of the script, and then obviously do it in front of the producer. So I did my thing, and she liked me, and they gave me the role. So I spoke to Adrian again, the writer.
Yeah.
It's like, how did it go? I was like, they like me. They want me to have the role. And it's like, okay, what's the name of the character? And I told him the name of the character. He's like, oh, that's the main guy. I was like, whoa,
that right? What?
Well, main guy. This is what the story. The person. Yeah, this is what the story is about.
This person. Before you was doing it?
No, because they only give you a little segment to read. So
okay.
Yeah, that was for a pilot for a TV series. So I thought, big things are happening now. Getting excited. So I went along and filmed it. South London. Had a lot more to learn. Got a bigger script. And just had to obviously. This is the first time really getting deep into it, and literally got to learn the other people's lines and read everything really. So
see, life of acting, people think it's nice. They think it's sweet because you just kind of get to be on camera. People taking putting makeup on you and all this stuff, and you think it's listen
the process. It's a lot of it's a lot of hard work behind the scenes. You got to memorize the lines and just get that connection with the other person you might be speaking to in the scene. So there's a lot of do you know what I mean? You've got to practice basically. So I was literally, obviously you can try and practice with somebody that you know, or most of the time you're on your own. So I'm recording vocals in the dialogue into my phone.
Oh,
you know, where you can record
voice record. Yeah.
And I'll just play it back to myself, or I listen to my headphones, or play it in the car, and maybe it's other person's dialogue, and then I'm just repeating what I need to say. It's just so they get the timing right, because you need to have the timing, know when to come in. So that was a big experience for me.
Well, I was going to ask real quick as well, when you came into the acting side of things, was there any particular standout actors at the time that you looked towards to kind of even reference or gain some kind of alright, let me kind of not model myself off him, but look at him?
Do you know the films that I was into when I was younger? I was into gangster movies.
Okay.
And that was, my mum used to watch them. She used to watch The Godfather and all of that.
Oh, listen,
she
The
loves
Godfather
all
is
that.
one,
it's
one of my favourites.
Yeah, man, I watched that as a young kid. Godfather 1, 2, even 3. Even though 3 is not really that great, I don't think. But
no one likes the third of anything, man.
Nah, it's not that good.
No one likes the third. It's like everything. It's like The Matrix. A lot of people don't like
2's the best one for me. Marlon Brando smashed it. So I started. Do you know what I mean? I'm growing up watching people like Marlon Brando and Godfather. Do you know what I mean? And Robert De Niro in part twos. And I watch all of these films. Carlito's Way, Scarface. Obviously, everyone's seen that.
Of course.
But I've seen all of them. Goodfellas, and so I'm looking at the De Niros, the Al Pacinos, the Brandos. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, we love Denzel. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
So many actors out there, but I love comedy as well. On Eddie Murphy's.
Eddie Murphy's unbelievable.
You know what I'm saying?
One of the stand-up legends.
That's what I'm saying, man. And the way he's transcended and still makes the kid movies, and it's still funny.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so, it's just some people, with comedy, it's one of them ones where like some people are just funny in general. They don't need scripts, they don't need like a piece or a part in a movie or nothing. Like, you just have a conversation with them and you'll just be busting up. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, naturally funny. It's naturally funny.
It's hard to put on camera. That's the thing as well. Like some of the funniest people, like I like Bernie Mac personally. It's like look at some of Bernie's stuff, like it's just unreal. Like you just think of them and you start smiling. Do you know what I mean? Like because they're just that good. But yeah, man, I can understand that. Yeah, so inspiration from comedy as well. Yeah, man.
So sorry, I've lost my trail of thought. But that's basically the kind of the actors that I
so old school gangster movies. That's kind of really
but obviously I used to like the American hood movies as well. I liked all movies, you know that, but the ones I watched repetitively would be things like the American movies in the 90s. There's so many to mention: the Juices, the Menace to Society, the Boys in the Hoods, all of those sort of films. A lot of Spike Lee stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Spike Lee is really good.
So man, Ice Cube as well. You can't leave out Ice Cube just the comedy that he brought to the screen. So I was watching a lot of that stuff, but don't get me wrong, I love Back to the Future, Home Alones and all those films.
All the classics, man. It's a universal flex of certain movies, man. We grew up, I think the 80s and the 90s period when it comes to like,
originality.
Hollywood and movies and spectacles was just like a great time. That's the reason why they would get played on repeat at Christmas.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like their little nostalgic moments.
And you know what as well? I worked in a cinema as well. Forgot to mention that. You know that?
That was an in-between thing.
That was when I was at college.
Okay, calm.
So that was when I was doing my A-levels. Like I said, I left home, I think I was 17. So I was working in the cinema. And still playing football, still going to college. But I worked there for a good 2 years or something like that.
Okay.
But I was just watching all the films that
I can imagine.
You know what I mean? And you could go in and out and just repetitively watch them. So there were some good films those days as well.
So I mean, it seems like you've had like a fairly, a well-rounded scope of things, like the music background, obviously coming from a very cultural background in terms of your family. And all of that, because I know I got a little taste of that as well, coming from a Caribbean household, like you know what I mean, like that stern upbringing, the traditional understandings of how you should be raised, how you should carry yourself, you know what I mean, like I think they do carry through into your latter years. Sometimes you go off the path a little bit, because we're natural human beings, we like to explore, we like to try things.
Of course, man, and you're influenced by who you surround yourself with as well, so that can obviously lead you down a certain path.
Yeah, it could be a good or a bad thing.
You know what I mean? So sometimes you've got to be strong-minded. But man, we're still here, we're surviving. It's just a game of life, isn't it? And
100%.
I'm just trying to just stay creative. And make this life have purpose.
I think that moving forward into the future, what we're going to experience with obviously automation and technology growing as rapidly as it is slowly but surely going to replace the majority of like the work industry we know it as.
Which is sad.
It is sad. It is sad, but I think it is just natural. It's evolution at the same time as well.
It is, but I don't know, man. I've got people telling me, why don't you do? I don't want to plug again, but what's that? Chat GPT.
Oh yeah, Chat GPT seems to be.
Just get that to write your script.
Yeah. No, there's a lot. Absolutely not. No.
I don't get it. Like, just let it do it. Just put in the thing and it just does it for you. Nah, man. Nah, it's not natural. It's not. How is a computer?
It's true.
I don't know.
No, I agree. I think what it is
I think that what we're going to deal with is it's going to take away a lot of the natural elements of life, unfortunately, because it's just the nature of things. The more we move towards more technology, it naturally takes away from the physical world, the natural world. So a lot of those jobs, as I said, the work industry will change, but I do think it's just going to take a little bit more of critical thinking skills to be able to be like, look, all right, cool, that may be gone, but we are now going to evolve and open up new doors and a lot of things that we're going to
have to, aren't we?
Exactly.
As humans, we always find a way.
Yeah, that's the the thing about human nature is that we always tend to find unique ways around things, solutions to things, and I think it's a good thing for us to rid ourselves of certain menial tasks that really and truthfully we could spend our time doing more important things. You know what I mean? Because there are a lot of issues that we really do need to get to, and I think majority of the planet does waste a lot of time doing things they don't want to do, fueled with no passion, no real end focus, no real target, and then you go past 20, 30, 40 years and people are like, I feel like I didn't really do nothing, or I have regrets if I didn't do this. And I think a lot of that stems within just our system itself. It's very much built on this beginning, middle, end, and hopefully you've got enough to see you to the end, but it should be much more, I think, of appreciating the here and now, the moments, looking around and being able to help people as you're growing. You know what I mean? I don't think it's like a one thing, like we have to make the money and everyone's got to go over there. I think there is a balance we can find.
Well, you sometimes get stuck into this cycle of
the loop.
work, bills, work, bills.
You would
maybe go out on the weekend, back to work. But I think there's a little bit more to life than that.
There's definitely a lot more.
Surely.
I mean, let's be real. Like, let's be honest. Best way to look at it is think of it like this. Like, you think about artificial intelligence, the one thing that it is doing is it's taking away and showing to people that, hey, that thing that you think was that important can be just taken away by a robot with programming. And it's like, we're human beings, we're sentient beings who are able to think and create and change and move and adapt. And you should be able to look at that and say, oh yeah, you know what, maybe we have just been going down a bit of a blind path and not really looking around and paying attention. And I think it will unlock and open up a few eyes. And overall, I do. I like to err on the side of optimism. You know what I mean? Being realistic is key. Don't get me wrong. I ain't trying to be of course. Everything's gonna be all good. Like, no, we're still realistic with the problems, but let's not be negative in what we could actually do.
Stay positive.
Yeah, man.
Times.
Because it spreads. It spreads. And the same way negativity spreads, think about online, like the virality of things online. And, you could probably speak on this a little bit better than me, like creating content that is actual visual video content, and being involved in it on an actor's level, an extra level. What's it like, seeing your productions out there, but also kind of knowing, like, we got to get it seen. Like, how do we get it seen in this crazy world? Like, what's that like?
Yeah, I mean... What, seeing myself or seeing my work?
Seeing yourself, a little bit of both.
I'm critical. Like, do you know what it is?
You're a perfectionist.
Yeah, man, I'm a perfectionist, and I'll never be happy with it. There's always something.
That's 80% of artists.
I'm always going to be looking. I should have done that. I should have changed that. I could have done that. When I'm looking at my own work, that's all I'm doing. Unfortunately, I'm just critiquing it constantly. And my first film's gonna be out soon for everybody to watch.
Very nice.
I wrote it and was involved in producing it. So I just saw everything from behind the scenes. I just was involved in the whole package of creating it, and that was the first time. Do you know what I mean? Usually, I'm just going to a job and acting, and I don't have to think too much. I look at my performance, and I'm cool. Obviously, I'll enjoy the film, but I look at my performance now. Obviously, with my own creation, I'm looking at the whole thing, and I've watched it so many times now. And all I'm doing is, I should have done that. So answer to your question is, that's what it's like from my side. When I'm looking at my own work, I'm constantly critiquing it. But people who enjoy it. But
do you find it's challenging, like with just everything that we see online? Like, we have to compete with everyone now. like everyone putting things out, regardless if it's like to sell something, not to sell something. It's just in general. You know?
I don't think you should look at other people. I think you should just concentrate on yourself. It's not competition. I think really we should all be helping each other and joining up and creating, because we've got the power in our own hands now to create our own products now. So it's good times, really. It's good times because we've got more control.
It's a good way of looking at it.
Of the product. Sorry, trail of thought's gone again.
No, it's fine. I mean, essentially you're saying like you just kind of focus more inward on because that's the kind of what I'm getting to, is that a lot of people speak out online now about like watch time hours and how much usage and how much screen time that we're using, and it does
on
social media and in terms of, because let's be honest,
it's a distraction for me, to be quite honest with you.
Fair.
But I have to be honest, when I first started acting, I didn't have all the Instagram and people were looking at me weird, like, if you're acting, you haven't got Instagram. Alright, so I set it up, and then now it just seems like you can put a limit on there, can't you?
You
like
can.
An hour.
You can.
I'm looking at it for 2 minutes and it's like hour. What?
Wow,
an hour already?
Yeah, that's how crazy it is.
Yeah, you just got to be a bit mindful. I try not to look at it too tough.
What do you do instead of, or what would you kind of give some advice out there to, offer some advice to anyone to kind of avoid or spend some time doing something different? What is it, something you do at least?
You got to find what you love and enjoy. People like going to the gym, so go to the gym and put all your 100% into doing that. Whatever you like doing, put 100% into, because things like you can get distracted and then you end up wasting your life away and you think, where'd that time go? Well, people are asking me, how do you manage to, because I work as well, I've got a trade and I have to make money. Until I get higher up in the chain, I start making a lot of money from this, then I can do this full time. But at the moment, I've got a normal job as well. So
I get you. So you're still kind of like in the meat grinder to a degree. Yeah. Still figuring out that pathway where you can kind of do your thing. Yeah. But that's a strong will it takes to be able to do. Yeah. And that's something that I know personally I've definitely struggled with over the years. It's just like balancing that I've got to go over here and do this that I really don't want to do, and then come back here and then be as creative as I want to be. Yeah. So it's a hard balance.
You just got to handle your business, do what you need to do work-wise to pay the bills, but at the same time, if you've got spare time, it's all about utilising it. Are we going to just stay at the social media, or are we going to, if you want to do something, you're going to get out there and actually do it? And my mindset was just to get out there and just do it. So I know that after I finish my work, then I need to get writing, or I need to look for work, I need to audition, I need to do self-tapes, I need to, do you know what I mean, create and you got to use that time, because people will say to me, how do you find the time? Like, I don't know how you do. It's like, you got to make time. There's 24 hours in a day. How are you using your time? Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So just think, if you want to do something, how are you actually utilising your time?
So time management. It comes back to a similar thing that it seems to be common trends tend to circle around the same kind of point when it comes to building success, chasing your goals, and trying to get to where you want. Consistency, focus, discipline.
It's all about the drive, man. You got to really want something, and if you really want that,
I would say you got to need it.
Definitely.
You got to feel like you got to need it at least.
Definitely.
Like, you may not be necessarily like need like water, but it's got to feel like that.
You just got to go for it, man. And then it's a lot of hard work and sacrifices. Yeah. So if you want to achieve anything, you got to sacrifice and work hard at what you want to do. So simple as that.
Nah, that's true. That is so true. Like, so talk to us a little bit about the upcoming project that you got working on.
The upcoming project, the name of the film is Absent.
Nice.
It was an idea I came up with over a year ago now. Myself and a good friend of mine who's also an actor, Johnny Britcher. Big up Johnny Britcher. Top actor.
I see him, by the way, as well. Supporting. I see him on the story.
Yeah, we're gonna hopefully we can jump back on there with some of the actors and talk about the film a bit more. We're gonna make those guys. But me and Johnny thought of this idea and I just put it into action. I thought, you can be the main actor. So I just wrote the story out. It took a couple of weeks, grinding. Obviously, maybe 1 or 2 weeks afterwards, just touching up a few things here and there, and then I just went straight to action. I mean, I was waiting for this pilot series to take off, but things didn't really work out with that. So in the meantime, I just felt a bit impatient waiting for other jobs. So I thought, this is time to just do my own thing. I've worked on many sets with different people. I felt I built up enough experience.
So it's time to use your team.
I just thought, you know what, I can do this. Let me try and let's do this. So I just put my head down, wrote the story, and then literally started calling people that I've worked with on other sets, good people that I've met along the way. And I said, "Yeah, you interested in collaborating? I've got a part for you. You're interested in?" People were up for it. So
started from there.
Bit by bit, it was just starting to piece it together, finding locations.
Location scouting.
Man. Just finding the places that obviously from the story we know what we need. Just literally calling in favours. Because it's not cheap, this filmmaking stuff, you know what I mean? People think... I found a DOP that I worked with on a previous film, and I just liked him. He seemed like he had the same sort of drive as me. He was on it. Do you know what I mean? I'm watching him, and he knows what he's talking about, and he's moving around, and it's like the energy. For man. I mean, I spoke to a few other DOPs before, but they just... Some you could tell hadn't really looked at the script. They just wanted to get the money. And then, do you know what I mean? So we ended up speaking to Malcolm. Big up Malcolm Williams, Malcolm Modell of Unity Vision. And we worked out a figure, and he did the editing for me as well.
Brilliant.
Literally, I learned.
It's great when you got people that can.
He's a good guy, and I learned a lot from him. He's a top DOP, and he's gonna go far, definitely. But he's a busy guy as well. So later on, I find I need to be a bit more patient. He's got other work going on as well. So the film's it's now finished.
Wicked.
But do you know what I mean? So it was the first time for me. So I'm like, when's it out? Oh, come on, let's do you know what I mean? But there's a lot more to it, and which I found because obviously I was involved in sitting in the sessions of the editing, and then it's literally you got to do the scoring.
Music scores.
Scoring? You need to find someone to do scoring. So that's another bit of money you got to spend. Because it's
because it adds to that. I mean, it changes the element of
scoring is literally the sound effects and the music composure to parts of the scenes. So it's important because the music plays with literally your emotions. It ties you in with the scene, and it really...
They're clever with the type of instruments they use at certain times.
It's very, very important. If you watch any film, just listen to the scoring and the composure. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. So that's important. Sound effects, then music. I love my music, so I had to put music in a lot of music in the film. So people, when you watch it, you're going to enjoy the music. We've got some decent music, and luckily, I knew a lot of people that made music. So
they were willing to give you masters and
I called in a lot of favours, and obviously it's collaboration as well, because I'm helping them putting your music out there for people to hear, and do you know what I mean? And
see, this is why, like, quick little segue, man, is like, that's why building platforms is such an amazing thing. Like, when you get to the point, because I think you have to earn the right. I don't think you can just go out and just say, I'm just building things that people can come and work under. I think it takes a bit of time to iron out those creases and, hone your craft. But when you can get to that point where you can start to build platforms, and, I very much think of this as a platform where I can get people on and share in my likeness, in creativity, in art, in music, food, everything. And I don't have to do it in a disingenuous way. because sometimes I think a lot of time people go online and they shout about things they don't really know about. Whereas I'd rather sit down with somebody who knows and ask them the questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just got to ask questions, and no one knows everything. You're always learning. So there's nothing wrong with saying you don't know something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I learned a lot from Malcolm, and we put this together, and it's going to be a beautiful project for my first project. Obviously, I'm overcritical. I know I could have done much better and whatever,
but you know that.
I've seen it.
No one, other people,
and other people that have seen it, are impressed. So I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. That'll be out. I'm looking to do a premiere. I'm not saying a date yet, but very soon, within the next month or so. Because what it is the film's been put into film festivals. We're trying to get into as many film festivals as possible.
Jeopardize.
So what they say is a lot of them have got strict criteria of it can't be shown to the public until it's been seen and shown at their event. So that's another thing I didn't know about, but I've learned. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I've been promoting the film from early because I've been happy and gassed, and I just thought, it'll be done in about 3 months and just put it out. But then slowly start realising
it takes longer.
Yeah, it's longer, and there's a way of doing things, and got to just go through the process. Try and get it out in front of people, because the film festivals, you have a lot of established people in the industry that watch it, and
first impression.
They could see it. Do you know what I mean? And maybe want to give distribution deals or anything. So it's important that we get it through that process of getting it in front of the right people and just getting our names out there, just to be recognised. Because we're not stopping. We're going to keep making more and more and more and more. So this is the start. So I just want to make sure it's the right people. We get the right feedback. And then we just keep going.
Keep pushing and keep driving.
So I know people have been waiting. I'm sorry, guys. Maybe I should have kept my mouth shut for a bit and then told you what. Once it's finished, then so that's what I'm moving forward. Everyone just be a bit more relaxed, and then when the film's completed, then we start letting people know, because of course it's less pressure. Do you know what I mean? When everyone's asking you, when's it out? And you're still putting bits together.
I've done it too, man. Like,
you don't want to rush it either.
You get excited. That's the part of the passion, though. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think you learn, like you said, you learn over time. All right, cool, mate. I shouldn't be shouting about this before it's actually ready, or let me just hold back on that. But I think it's a good bad thing, because it's if you're smart enough, you can learn it and you figure it out quick and you get it out of the way. But if you lack that, I think that's also a problem. Do you know what I'm saying? You lack that excitement of like, I want people to see this. I want to hear about it. Yeah, exactly. So you know what I mean? Like, as I said, you learn, but it's a bad problem to have. You know what I mean? A good problem to have, should I say? So,
but it's understandable. It's my first one. You're going to get excited about your first ever film. But like I said, I think it's entertaining. I act in it as well. We've got some good actors, and we've got some first-time actors in there. So that's when my directing ability had to really be tested, because it's my first it's my debut as a director. So I found there's obviously difficulties, and but to me, I'm just learning. How are you gonna learn if you don't make mistakes?
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm just glad that so many things happened that I learned from in this first project. But the music's amazing, and I reached out to so many people, and they all came through. So I'm just happy with that, man. And that helps the movie as well. Just brings it all together, and
it should be like, I mean, it's all about a package, isn't it? That's why having those extra skills and developing those extra skills over years really helps in whatever art form you choose to work in, whether it's film, whether it's music, whether it's whatever, painting, it could be anything. But learning and absorbing other forms of art and creativity is really going to help what you're doing too. You know what I mean? So
definitely, man. But I'm enjoying it. That's the main thing. I'm enjoying it.
That's a good thing.
You meet people, they might just treat it as a business. They're on a money making thing, just each their own. But I mean, I'm more interested in the art form first. I got my job. I got ways to make money, so now I can just focus on creative sides. Don't get me wrong, I want to push this to the limit, and make money from it eventually. But I feel like if you just concentrate on making money, then it's not going to be a good product that you put out there. Concentrate on making a good product, and then the money will come. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, 100%. You develop it, turn it into something that's valuable first, before you think about marketing it. Like,
definitely,
make sure it's been tested.
It's an entertainment industry, so people got to be entertained first and foremost.
Yeah, so that's facts.
As long as people are entertained, then you're onto a winner. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, like, that's one thing I think stuck with me the most when I was at university was when we took the speech class, because when I think back on it, I actually hated the class. Do you know what I mean? It was like, I was always been quite confident playing football, you know what I mean? Like, always willing to be loud, shout on the pitch and everything, but you know, I'd kind of like to pick my moments. So like being in an environment or a classroom where you're kind of forced to, and you had to do different forms too, so like persuasive, informative, educational, and you had to learn different styles of how you present and you know, just basically, you know, pitch to an audience. But at the time I remember just absolutely hating it, because you know, I went to school in America. Yeah, so I had the accent thing was cool, because people want to hear the accent, don't it? But it was also.
How long were you there for?
I was there for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Shout out to SCAD, Savannah, Georgia. Yeah. Shout out to all my SCAD people. I still got a lot of people locked in, still watch, man. Like, it's nice. But yeah, like, it was probably the best 4 years of my life, because it was about the expansion. I felt like I was quite accomplished because I played at a high level of football, but going somewhere and being challenged in something that you're completely not competent in, and there's people around you that are excelling naturally, it's just like, whoa, role reversal. It's like, I felt like this on the pitch, now I've got to do this in a classroom setting or in a speech class and whatever. Fast forward, getting to the point, that class was so important for me, because I think it taught me things that instilled later down the line of how to present in different forms and fashions, and I realised each person is really good at a different type of speech. Some people are good at informing you, some people are good at educating you, some people are good at persuading you, but we kind of have a different, like, if you hone in, most people have a characteristic trait that links to one. Right. Do you know what I'm saying? I think people, just for anyone out there, like, you know, take a look into that, because it really helped me to understand that I'm not going to be the comedic funny guy that just makes people laugh all the time. I'm cool with that, because my style, my presence is based in, you know, how can I inform and educate people in a unique way while still being presentable. So
no, you're good, man. You keep pushing it, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Good with this podcast, man.
Nah, man, I appreciate that, bro. So, I mean, it takes time. It takes time, because people see it from the outside, they don't see behind the scenes setup of what's going on and what we actually get up to. And you know, I'm going to make an effort moving forward to kind of showcase more behind the scenes and the setup and all of that. But you know very well on set. So like, one thing I wanted to ask you is just like, what's it like trying to get equipment nowadays? Like, because some people are just frazzle their heads, bro. They're like, oh, I need this red camera, I need this magic camera. Oh, they got this underwater camera. Do you know what I mean? Drone camera.
It's expensive, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so what's it like? What's it like trying?
For me, I'm not a cinematographer. I'm not a cameraman, so I just pay the cameraman. And they get their bits. But I bought a camera myself. It's DSLR. I didn't know what to do with it. Like,
so
it's expensive. It's over a bag, over $1,000. So street language. Yeah, so trying to speak nice. Yeah, man. No, it's just the equipment's expensive, but it's important. Sound's important. For example, I've done films and everything looked good. Everyone smashed it. Then the sound wasn't right. The sound recorder didn't record it properly, or the machine, something happened with the machine, and you can't hear properly, and it's ruined the whole film.
One thing,
audio is very important.
So there you go. Any young aspiring filmmakers,
make sure your audio is tight, because it just makes it look, it doesn't matter how good you make the film look, like if the sound's off,
goes back to the score as well, innit? Because having that score makes a difference between, I just got some soundtracks and some music put on there.
The whole thing, there's so much that you got to just get on point to make the film look right, and that's what I was worrying about so much, because I've seen so many films and it's like, and I don't want people doing that tomorrow. Even though it's my first, and I'm allowed to make mistakes, I don't want people. So
messing up the vision.
But it was big up Malcolm again. He's on point anyway. So I knew that it was going to be filmed right and put together right. But the colour grading is important as well. Grading to make it look like a real movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, as a photographer, trust me.
When you're on limited budget, do you know what I mean? There's only so much you can do to make the quality look good. But that's important when you're on a limited budget.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different types of lenses that in feature films make the movie look like amazing. You get the anamorphic lenses, it just, do you know what I mean?
It's like
but
I know.
From a wide,
it's almost like film grain quality in a digital camera. Yeah, it's deep.
So, but there's like that lens is thousands and thousands. Do you know what I mean?
Like, just for the lens. Then you're thinking for like 1 day hire. Is it really worth it for like one shot? You have to be pragmatic too.
It's not a cheap game making films, but it depends on what quality you want to make the film. In terms of the look.
Okay.
But the most important thing is the storyline, because you can make it look as good as you want, crisp as you want. If there's no storyline there, people are switching off. And there is some shows out there that I've seen that they spent big budgets on. I'm not naming them, but just chucking in famous names, famous rappers, ain't enough.
Facts.
Spending the most on how it visually looks ain't enough, because I know people that are not even watching the second episode or the third episode of these things because there's no storyline there. So the real essence is the storyline first. Make sure it's engaging, and then let's try and make it visually look as best that we can.
Cohesive. Come together, that cohesion. Man, like I think that's a great skill, and I think what I've been able to notice even in this short time speaking with you is that that this gradual development from the music from the art appreciation into theatre has helped hone those skills into the direction and wanted to be in this the field and the area
without me even knowing just picking up all these little skills throughout my life. I've managed to just now get into this film game and put it all together. Do you know what I mean? And it's just without me knowing, like, just I'm picking up the experience, and that's what I say to the youngsters out there: do as many things as you can, and if you enjoy things, just learn as much. And like we said earlier, get as much tools to art. Do you know what I mean?
You got to learn. That's a good one, man. I mean, I would add in,
because you don't know, you might not know now what at a young age what you want to do.
Definitely not.
But later on, without you knowing it, just learning all these different things and spending time doing different things, eventually you might find your path, and you've got all these skills now to put it into work. So
agreed. I mean, definitely add on to that, to say that for the young aspiring up and coming youth of today, I think you can get easily distracted, as we talked about earlier, with social media and all these different things. But I think
social media and fast money.
Yeah, definitely. Fast money is dangerous, the main thing that's distracting everybody. Fast money comes with slow problems, bro.
Do you know what I mean? And what's it for when you check it deep? Like, what is it for? Material gains, for material things
that eventually fade.
Exactly. Yeah. So is it really worth taking risks for?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No, exactly. I mean, you need to make investments in
Investments is the main thing, and you, like you said, invest in yourself first.
Yeah, 100%.
First and foremost, and then to see how it goes from there. Just slowly things will turn out for you. You got to have hope.
Yeah, definitely, bro. I mean, like you have to think of life as no, not even think of life. You need to take life seriously. Because if you don't, others will be taking your life seriously for you.
Exactly.
Basically, like you may think you get away with that until you decide to become serious, and then you realise, oh damn, these lot have been using me for this long, or taking advantage of me for this, and I didn't even clock.
Exactly.
And you're like, well, a lot of the time it's because of that lacking of that seriousness. And I think what it is linked into not feeling like you're cool. there's something like uncool about being serious all the time. Like people like this funny, jokey, entertaining way of life all the time, and it's like there's time and a place for everything.
Yeah.
And I think you can have your fun, but you got to remember who's paying attention. And this podcast for me is a great example of it, because I've been able to bring people on the podcast that probably wouldn't even respond to certain DMs from other people. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying that in general, because of the way I've carried myself and the way that these conversations are and they're presented, it lends it to future people, and to somebody else saying, oh yeah, like I was on there and it was actually really good, and it was actually cool, and it wasn't talking about bait stuff, and it was talking about, you know, reality.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely say take life seriously, because as I said, someone will take it seriously for you, and the things that are gaining off the back of you, you'll be surprised, man.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised. Some people could be making millions off of you. You don't even know.
Of course.
You know?
So, but you got to have a path though. Yeah. Otherwise, you're just there lost.
Facts.
Have a path, have a goal, and go for it. Really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean that kind of lends into, you know, as we come to the conclusion of our conversation, short but brief, and the beginning, hopefully, of many behind closed doors. You know, we're talking about working on some collaborations.
Yeah, definitely.
Things like that. So that's to stay tuned and keep your eyes open for that. But in general, man, like, I always like to give the audience some form of value, some type of advice, nuggets of advice that they can take away, whether it's a bit of wisdom, whether it's a bit of experience that you've gained over the years. It could be based off of reality in your personal life, it could be in business. But what would you say?
I'll just say that it's never too late to do anything in this world, or anything in life, and there's never too late to be anything you want to be. You just got to just work hard at it. Just find what you want to do, find what you enjoy. If you've got an idea, go for it. We haven't time flies. We haven't got time to mess around. If you got an idea, go for it. Don't let anybody hold you back. Don't let anyone tell you can't do something, you can't be anything. You can be anything you want to be, and I've seen people become what they want to be, or do what they want to do, just simply through hard work and belief. Just believe in yourself, and that's it. That's all I can say.
That's wicked, bro. Well, I mean, it's been a wicked conversation, man, and I think a lot of people will be able to take a lot of positives from it. Right? I mean, coming from the upbringing that you've got, well-rounded, holistic approach on art and life, and as I said, like working in the industry in your own way.
Yeah,
it's a powerful thing, man. So big yourself up. Man.
Trying to make way, but we're doing it slowly.
That's what I'm saying.
Slowly but surely.
That's what I'm saying. And again, another big shout out to Carlington, man, for bringing the little connection together.
Yeah,
because I feel like that's what we do, man. We're like Lego pieces, and just attaching and connecting in positive ways.
There's so many people out there doing things. You just got to collaborate and open your mouth and don't be afraid to. I'm approachable. Anyone that wants to get into acting, wants to get into film. You don't even have to be an actor. There's so many jobs in the film industry and on film sets. So if you just enjoy the whole process of making films and the whole industry, and you want to get involved, don't hesitate. Give me a shout. I'm on Instagram, YAWJ000. That's Yao. Give me a shout, and we can collaborate. I'm willing to work with anybody that's blessed and has great ideas and that's hardworking. Let's work. I'll work on it. Like I said, we're going to work together. We're going to hopefully do some stuff.
Thanks.
I've got loads of ideas, and I'm just excited to do more stuff. Really,
brother, man.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Blessing to have you on. Real talk, honestly, guys. Your network is your net worth. And I'm sure many of you have heard that before, but it is a reality. And as you get into things that you genuinely are passionate about, you tend to find that the people that you've met in your lifetime are probably going to be part of the reason why you are successful in your form of success or not. Because things that you do matter down the line. You know what I mean? Like the effect that you have on people. Do you leave a positive effect? Do you make them think like twice about who you are? And the more that you can focus on doing that in whatever you do, I think we'll have a much better environment, a much better society that we're working towards. And
yeah, it's a step-by-step process, man. Like you said, be confident, be willing to open your mouth, ask for what you want, be willing to ask for help if needs be, and don't ever feel afraid to go head first into what you're passionate about. You know what I mean?
100%.
So, bro, again, go support my guy. As I said, links will be in the description to find out where he's at. If you enjoyed the convo, like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, don't forget to press the like button.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's free.
It's free.
It's free
Support
content.
your brothers.
Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
We're out here hustling, doing it. But yeah, much love for you guys locking in. Anyone who heard this message, share it along with somebody you think will resonate with this. And like we always say, it's always about positivity, focus, drive, discipline. All of the same things that you've heard before are important to you and to the next person. So if you can share that with the next person, that's invaluable. You know what I mean? And it don't cost nothing. So without further ado, big love to my guy for coming through, and much love to you guys. And we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace and love. Cover your six.